What is up, Sales Nation? We've had this question that's been sent in that's on the screen right now. And unfortunately, I don't know how to read Chinese and those symbols, so I can't shout you out, but we're going to answer your question in this episode of the show. Now, navigating office politics is something that I've got a lot of experience with because I've fell out with a lot of sales managers over the years of working in sales. So I know how stressful this can be in the workplace. When you just try to generate leads, you're trying to get deals done, and you've got all of these inter-office dynamics ruining everything. So let's get into it right after you hit that thumbs up button. Have you hit it? Let's jump right in. Hi, I'm Will Barron, founder of salesman.org, where we help salespeople who sell services crush their sales quotas. So our friend in the comments says he is a BDR or business development rep, and he's sending sales leads to 3 separate account managers. Now, these 3 account managers, they're being bossy, they're being arsey, and he's concerned that they're bothered that he is outshining them, that he's outperforming them. And so I'm going to give you a 3-step process to dealing with this tension in the office. First off, I want to ask you, friend who wrote in the comments, are you being emotionally intelligent about the whole situation that you're in? Because emotional intelligence, well, it has 2 sides to it. So the first side of emotional intelligence is you. So are you being appreciative that the leads that you might be handing your account managers right now in the current economic climate, well, you might think that they're good leads, you might think that they're qualified, but they're not converting. And so they're just generally frustrated. Perhaps they're not being frustrated at you in particular. They're just not hitting their own targets because the leads aren't closing, and so they're annoyed. Now, I'm not saying that you should take abusive behavior from your colleagues just because their job sucks right now. And I'm going to show you how to deal with that in a second, but it's something to be aware of. The flip side of this is, number 2, the internal elements of your brain. Because let's face it, a BDR is usually a stepping stone to an account executive or account management position. Are you sure that you're not a little jealous, a little annoyed at these individuals? You think that you can do the job better, but you're not being given the opportunity quite yet? You've got to silence that inner criticism and give yourself a little bit of a check to make sure that you're not projecting your own frustrations out on these other people and you're just seeing it bounce right back in your face. So with that said, the next step, if you are genuinely getting abuse from these individuals and they're leading you to work in a workplace environment that isn't productive for anyone, then you need to get assertive. You need to explain to these individuals that in no uncertain terms that you're not going to take this bullshit from them anymore. Now, assertiveness is quite a wishy-washy subject, and so I want to show you this diagram. This is the best way that I know to describe being assertive. So assertive behavior is when the people that you're dealing with, well, they feel I'm okay. And then you're okay in the situation as well. If the relationship is getting more aggressive, it would mean that, well, perhaps you're okay, but the people you're dealing with are not. And so on. You can see it in the diagram here for being passive and for being passive aggressive. And passive aggressive is the worst thing you want to be in the workplace. I'm sure you've got examples of people slamming doors, people not working as hard as they should just because they don't like one of the individuals that they're engaging with. This is all passive aggressive behavior, and it will never get you anywhere. And so you need to engage with these account managers and say, in no uncertain terms, again, assertively, in a way that they're going to be okay with it and you're going to be okay with it, that you're not willing to take this nonsense from them anymore. Tell these individuals how you feel about the situation, and that if you don't have success in a BDR role, if you're not happy, if you're not motivated, well, it's going to affect their sales roles as well. Because clearly you're giving them very directly what they need in sales leads to get their jobs done. And the final bit of advice I've got for you, and this goes for any sales role where you've got a number to hit, when you have a quota. The question you've got to ask yourself is, are you hitting that quota? Are you hitting that sales target? If you are, then don't worry about the attitudes of other people who are seemingly a little bit further along their sales career than what you are. You have been given a job, you are crushing it, and so these idiots can get lost. You're turning your cog in the system, and if you are genuinely outshining the people that you're having friction with, then just go to your sales manager and say, you want to move into one of these positions. You're ready to take that next step. You're outperforming people who are, again, seemingly already ahead of you in that account management role, and see what your sales manager says. Because an account executive role, account manager role, it's going to pay more. Because you're closing deals, you've got more opportunity to leverage the sales skills that you have to really get deals done, which is the most exciting part and the best bit about selling as well. And I know you mentioned you're age in your comments, well, forget about age, because sales is the least ageist job on the planet. If you're performing, nothing else matters. So there we go. The 3 things that I mentioned are: make sure that you're using your own emotional intelligence to not project your anxiety, stress on other people, and embrace and accept the fact that they might be stressing out because they're not getting deals done right now in this global COVID-19 pandemic. And so they might be nervous about their own jobs and they're just throwing it down on you, which is not acceptable, which leads me on to the next step. If that is the case, you need to be assertive about what you want, what you're going to stand for, and what you're not going to put up with in your sales job. Because remember, this is a job. This isn't a family that you can't get rid of. It's not a partner that it's very painful and difficult to divorce. You can move jobs if you need to. And there's all kinds of laws and rights that you have as an employee where you shouldn't be getting grief from the people around you. And finally, if you really are crushing it, then forget all these idiots. Then take a printout of your job performance so far, take it to a sales manager and just say, hey, look, I'm ready. It's time for that promotion, and just replace one of these idiots. And so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. If you hated it for whatever reason, leave a thumbs down, and make sure to continue your sales education by watching one of the videos that are on the screen right now.